Well, thanks very much, everyone, and good morning. Mio Tutakawen Tatawa. That is CRIHI for guests. You are welcome. There is room here, and if my great-grandmother, full-blooded CRIHI woman, Lucy Brenides, were here, she may well welcome you in that same way. Minister Sigurdsson, I know you're here somewhere. I saw you walk in. There you are. Minister. MLAs, MPs, councillors, faith-based leaders, and citizens who continue to push us all to do better. Friends, thank you for being here. Thank you for the opportunity to be with you this morning. My name is Randy Boissonault. I'm the Member of Parliament for Edmonton Centre and the Prime Minister's Special Advisor on LGBTQ2 issues. I grew up in Morinville, a small town north of St. Albert, French Catholic community. I was an altar boy. I sang in the choir. I understand the role that faith plays in people's lives. My mom is a devout Catholic, and we go to Mass regularly. It makes her happy when I go to Mass with Mom. And it's part of our Christmas tradition. And so to all the faith leaders, Assalamu alaikum, thank you for being here. Shalom. You are here as harbingers of love, as people who believe in the fundamental goodness of the human spirit, and of what we can do with our hearts and our hands. And so I'm here to implore you to do everything that you can at the grassroots level to house more Canadians. We are facing an affordable housing crisis. 1 in 5 renters spends more than half their income on housing. Emergency shelter occupancy rates are pushing 90%. 1.7 million Canadians don't have the ability to meet their bills at the end of the month. All Canadians deserve housing that is safe and affordable. So our government knows that, and we're working very hard on this critical need for Canadians, and that is why we have introduced the first ever national housing strategy. It's bold. It's 10 years. It's $40 billion. We will create over 100,000 new housing units. We will repair another 300,000 housing units, and we will remove 530,000 households from housing need, and we will reduce chronic homelessness by 50%. You can apply for that, sure. That's the whole point. Now, the strategy is targeted at those most in need: women, children fleeing family violence, seniors, Indigenous people, people with disabilities, those dealing with mental health and addictions issues, veterans, young adults, LGBTQ citizens. Now, over the next months, you're going to see a whole bunch of initiatives come out of the National Housing Strategy. Minister Sohi and I want to see Edmonton get its fair share. And Minister Duclos, who's responsible for the strategy, wants to see Edmonton and Alberta get its fair share. And that's where you and our cities and our communities and the province come into play. So what are we talking about? A commitment to investing in social housing and repair, a portable housing benefit allowing people to stay in housing longer without the risk of losing their homes, stable operating grant supports for existing social housing projects, progress on Indigenous housing with a specific focus on urban Indigenous populations, a new Canada housing benefit that will be launched in 2020 to provide affordability and respond to local housing needs and priorities. This is money that will go directly to households to help offset rent costs for families and are dedicating far too much of their money right now to offset income. We will have, and we have a National Housing Co-Investment Fund that sets accessibility requirements for new and renewed projects and targets construction, repair, and renewal of housing for people with developmental disabilities. At least 2,400 new affordable units are expected to be created for people with developmental disabilities over the next 10 years. Okay, that's a lot of bullet points in a few number of breaths. So let's go to real people. Let's thank Bushy and Erica at our table for helping us understand the real challenges. Housing isn't enough. You have to wrap supports around people. You have to have pathways to jobs. And the people who hire people who have been living rough need to know that there has to be a thing called patient employment. You can't expect somebody living rough, first-time housed, to be perfect attendance for the next 12 months. It ain't gonna happen. So let's be realistic about what we're asking people to do. And let's learn from the Scandinavian countries. And let's learn from other places in the world where we are in this together. Employers, unions, governments, civil society, faith leaders. If that's what it takes to make a community, then let's step up and make that community, and let's have Edmonton, with the End Poverty Edmonton strategy, be a shining light and a beacon for that kind of leadership in this country and around the world. Now I'm not even looking at my notes anymore, because Bushy and Erica got to me. So thank you both very much. Look, there's a lot of work that has to be done, and we're not going to get there alone, okay? We also launched the poverty reduction strategy recently. This is real. We're going to have legislation in the House of Commons, and we are going to set an actual poverty measure, a basket of goods and services that you actually have to spend money on, and that's going to be, we don't want you below that poverty line, that new poverty measure. There will be a National Action Committee on Poverty, and we will legislate actions, and by 2020, we will reduce poverty by another 20%, and by 2030, we will reduce poverty by 50%. Since we've been in government, we have reduced poverty for 500,000 people in this country. We went from 4.2 million Canadians living below the poverty to 3.7 million Canadians living below poverty. That's not good enough, and we will do more. And we will do more with your help. So why is faith-based organizations important? Why are you so helpful? Because you're at the grassroots. You can pull people together. You can leverage dollars. You can leverage hearts. You can leverage hearts and hands. And I can tell you that we need your help in another area. We need your help with discrimination. We need your help with othering. We need your help not only with NIMBYing, but we need your help with not discriminating against people. I'm an openly gay MP for Edmonton Centre, the first one elected from Alberta to the National Parliament. If we believe fundamentally that at the core of our faiths, love is love, then we need to love everyone. And we need to love everyone equally. And that means we need to end the 30% of youth homelessness who are LGBTQ2, and it's 70% here in Edmonton. In fact, we need to end all youth homelessness. Could we agree that no kids should be living rough on the street? Could we just agree to that? And I will tell you, if my partner David puts up with me long enough for us to have kids, and if those kids grow up, we will not kick them out of the house for growing up straight. We could end the youth homeless crisis now if parents kept their queer kids at home. Think about that. That's where you come in. That's where your love comes in. And I can tell you folks that we have seniors who built this country trying to go to seniors facilities and having to go back in the closet because the older seniors either don't know, don't care, don't want to know, or openly discriminatory. Now the United Church stepped up and created the Affirming Community, and in Ashburn Place, in Edmonton, Strathcona, is an LGBTQ2 friendly, LGBTQ welcoming seniors residence, the first of its kind in Canada, and I've already reserved my suite 30 years from now on the third floor up in the corner. That's leadership from Edmonton. So let's see this leadership across faith. Let's see this leadership across your organizations. Let's get people housed. If your faiths are about love and your foundation is a home, then let us get busy and get this work done. Thank you. Merci. Hi. Assalamu alaikum.